there in his presence and his command on the mound. Another reason why I think he's one of the leaders, he didn't have his best stuff in the game against Minnesota. Remember, he didn't throw a whole lot of curveballs for strikes. It was fastball changeup. How about pitching into the 7th inning, 7 strikeouts, 1 earned run, and more importantly, no walks for Ricky Romero. He has taken his game to the next level.
Romero's always been a fast starter. He is trying to improve upon a 5-1 record in the month of April. He's matched up against a tough right-hander for Oakland. Blue Jays trying to sweep the A's here in this series finale. Jamie, let's go back to Jamie Campbell in the broadcast studio. Third and final game of this series against the Oakland Athletics. Blue Jays will finish up this series and then head out west to take on the Angels Friday night in the series opener there. John McDonald will start at shortstop this afternoon. McDonald, a defensive replacement in the game yesterday, and the one thing about McDonald's presence in the lineup, Junel Escobar, collided with the third baseman, Andy LaRoche, in the 5th inning and hit his forehead and his helmet on the knee of LaRoche. Had to leave the game after the next half inning. He had CT scan last night. Everything is normal, but today he is undergoing neurological tests to make sure there is no further complications from that head trauma last night.
And right now it's out of the Blue Jays' hand. Blue Jays have not been able to put their opening day lineup on the field since opening day.
Now the Blue Jays will try to keep the collar on the Athletics. Oakland hitting just .246 as a team. They have but 2 home runs. Coco Crisp is off to a fast start. Hit his 2nd triple of the season last night. Barton, Connor Jackson back into the lineup, hitting 3rd tonight. Josh Willingham has 2 home runs, the only Athletics home runs of the season. Kuzminoff returns to 3rd base after getting half the night off last night. Hideki Matsui, always tough on the Blue Jays, back in a DH spot. Suzuki, LaRoche, and Pennington round up the lineup.
Second start of the season for Ricky Romero. He's trying to build on that gem that he pitched against the Minnesota Twins on opening night when the Blue Jays won 13-3. 7 strikeouts in that game for Romero. He has had great success in his career. Although it's just 3 starts against the Oakland A's, he hasn't lost to them. He's 3-0 with an ERA of .225 against Oakland. I think Romero has really taken his game to the next level, and he's a pleasure to watch.
Well, with Ricky Romero on the mound, you're always going to have your defense engaged, and you look at the outfield, Snyder, Davis, and Rivera. Rivera continues to play right field in the absence of Jose Bautista. John McDonald gets his first start. He'll team up with Aaron Hill. The Blue Jays have been very adept at turning the double play. They have 7 double plays already. Ricky Romero is always prone to throw that ground ball that they can turn into 2. Jason Nix starts at 3rd base for a 2nd time this season.
Different left side of the infield that we saw in yesterday's game. McDonald, a very good player known for his glove.
Coco Crisp, the switch hitter. Looks at a first pitch at the knees for a strike. Crisp thought that was low. You could see by his reaction, a little smile at the home plate umpire.
A lot of the A's yesterday with Jesse Litch on the mound thought that some of the pitches were down and out of the strike zone. But a good job by J.P. Arancibia to keep it right there and frame it for a starter.
Romero quickly ahead, 0-2. Romero, as we mentioned, 5-1 in the month of April for his career. He has held the opponents to a .206 average in the first month of the season. He's also had a lot of success against Oakland. Bounced on the ground. Foul ball. Jason Nix, he can't wait for the umpire to make a call. A little chopper like that, he's got to unload in a hurry. But Lance Barkdale, the 3rd base umpire, called it foul.
He has flashed the leather so far in this season at 3rd base. Great range. Starting the double play the other night. Took away a base hit down the left field line. He is really starting to earn some playing time with that glove.
Another 0-2 pitch to Crisp. Cut on and missed. Good changeup does the trick.
Ricky Romero is not afraid to use that changeup to the right-handers. That's why they have such a hard time picking up the ball from Romero. You can see the grip in the glove and the great action down and away to a right-hander.
Derek Barton, the first baseman, takes his strike. Tough start to the season for Barton, hitting just .222. OPS under 700.
His game is built on taking a lot of pitches and getting on base, and that's why manager Bob Guerin has him in the 2nd hole for the Oakland A's. He led the American League last year in base on balls with 110.
2 balls and a strike to Barton. That's an interesting situation when you have a guy like Barton. He's not a base stealer, not a base runner, but gets on base a lot, but doesn't have any power. Kind of a unusual combination for a first baseman.
Reminds me of one of my old teammates, Mike Hartgrove. The same type of player.
That's a good call. Yep.
Takes a lot of pitches. Grover could turn on a few here and there, but so can Barton. Same type of player.
3-1. A one-out walk issued to Barton, and that's what he does. He gets on base.
Ricky Romero's scouting report is brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. He's got lively stuff. His fastball, his cutter, and his curveball is all A+ stuff. He's got that split-like change with great depth on it that he'll use against the righties, and that's why he controls the right-handers. A .231 batting average last year versus right-handers and 584 at-bats. So maybe you load up with a lot of lefties against Romero.
Connor Jackson, the right fielder here this afternoon, takes a strike. Jackson facing Romero for the first time. You mentioned Romero is prone to throw the double play ball. Perfect time for one right here. There it is. On cue, John McDonald. Aaron Hill. 6-4-3 ends the first. Ricky Romero off and running. Issued a walk first of the season, but he gets the double play. A good first half inning. Take a look at the Blue Jays lineup. 4-1 for the young season. Rajay Davis back at the top of the order. Jason Nix in the 2 spot. Gets a start at third. Adam Lind off to a fast start. Had a big night last night. A pair of doubles in the ball game. Hill, Rivera, and Encarnacion heart of the order. Travis Snyder with a big blow. His first home run of the season. A 3-run shot last night.
So good to see off of the left-hander also. Trevor Cahill made his first career opening day start last Friday versus Seattle. He was matched up against Felix Hernandez. But he's good. He is a good one. And all he does is keeps his team in the game and helps them win. 30 starts last year for Cahill, and the Oakland A's won 21 of those games.
Gets deep into a ball game, and you give yourself a chance to win. Rajay Davis knows Cahill. Played behind him in Oakland when he was with the Athletics the last 3 seasons.
He's a lot like these other pitchers that we have seen from Oakland. Get the ball and throw it. Don't mess around. That's one thing I have noticed from these A's pitchers is their body language is excellent out on the mound. Very confident, very sure of themselves.
Driven to the gap. Coco Crisp calling for it over in right center, makes the catch. Davis is retired, and Junel Escobar is in uniform on the dugout bench. That's a good sign. He was undergoing neurological testing this morning after that collision at third base in the 5th inning of last night's game. I spoke to him after the game last night. He said he didn't have a headache. A little sore on the right side of his neck where he kind of strained his neck in that collision.
Blue Jays stayed with him last night in his hotel, woke him up every 2 hours, 12, 2, 4, and 6 to make sure he was okay.
Baseball's done a great job of incorporating the protocol for head trauma, and they've even incorporated a 7-day disabled list. It's out in front of an off-speed pitch in the hole 0-2. Trevor Cahill, 23 years, 31 days when he opened up the season for the Athletics. Catfish Hunter, back in 1966, was the youngest opening day pitcher for Oakland at 20 years and 4 days. Jason Nix, picked up by the Blue Jays just at the end of spring training. Made a good early impression with a home run and some fine plays defensively. Chases a breaking ball, he goes down swinging.
The Oakland A's defensively, you got to be on your toes with Trevor Cahill on the mound. He'll throw a lot of ground ball outs, and this team has kicked it around a little bit in the early part of the season. Willingham, Crisp, and Connor Jackson will start in the outfield. Andy LaRoche, third game, third start at a third different position. He was at shortstop, third base, and now this afternoon he finds himself over on the right side at second base.
The red-hot Adam Lynn looks at a fastball down out of the zone. 381 on the young season for Lynn, including a pair of doubles last night. He's already homered. We talk about the changes we mentioned during the pregame show, how more upright Lynn is in the batter's box. Just a little more freedom for him to get that bat through the zone. Hits it sharply, but right at the first baseman. Barton steps on the bag. A 1-2-3 first inning. We have played one inning here at Rogers Center. We're scoreless.
On Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Good to see Escobar smiling as he's on the bench talking with Jose Molina, who was not here early in the game, as we mentioned, but appears to be feeling better after the head-first slide into third base last night. Ricky Romero back for a second inning of work. Josh Willingham 0 for 4 in last night's game. Good fastball upstairs as the count is even at 1-1.
It's always good to see your starter get off to a good start in the game, and that's what Romero did in his first start of the season. Retired 8 of the first 9 batters. Just come in and pump fastball.
Well, that backdoor breaking ball is a tough one down and away from Willingham.
You can see why he is so tough on the right-handers when he's got that changeup fading away from the righties. It just makes everything else more dangerous. The stuff that he can throw up there.
Well, Ricky has really developed a great delivery. Initially, when he was drafted out of Cal State Fullerton, he ran off the mound toward the third base foul line. They have really cleaned up his mechanics. Went right back inside and threw another pitch just off the plate.
Those last two pitches were set up by the first two to Willingham. Down and away, turned that fastball over. He had him set up for those inside fastballs. Just missed the plate, though.
Got him. Went back to the changeup, and Romero picks up his second strikeout of the afternoon.
You know, that's what makes him so tough, is he won't find himself in a pattern because he's got so many weapons that he can use. He might throw you a fastball one at bat, 3-2, and the next time he might throw you a changeup. Just don't know what to look for.
It's always a challenge for hitters when you have that many weapons as a pitcher. And he can throw them all for strikes. Kevin Kuzmanov fouls off the first pitch.
We have seen what his games are like when he has them all working. He had a game against the White Sox last year where I believe he had 12 strikeouts in that game. Had a great changeup that night.
Now speak to what it means as a hitter when Romero, who has such a great changeup, you get that in your mind as a hitter. What's that do for your approach on the fastball?
Before you know it, the fastball's on top of you.
And that ball is tapped back to the mound. Looks like that got in on the hands of Kuzmanov as Romero has two quick outs here in the second.
You know, as a hitter, you're taught look for the fastball just to the curve. But if a pitcher has a good off-speed pitch, sometimes you have to reverse your thinking, and that makes it tough. Look for the changeup or look for the off-speed pitch. Then you're going to be susceptible to that good 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
93 becomes 97, 98 after you're looking for the changeup. DH Hideki Matsui struck out 3 times in last night's game. He also had a 2-run double. Matsui has 87 career RBI against the Blue Jays. Second most against one team. He has 90 driven in against Tampa Bay.
That comes from a lot of the years that he spent with the Yankees. So you play the Blue Jays and you play the Rays so many times every year. He's almost had a career against the Blue Jays, 87 RBIs.
Like a full season. 36 years old now. Second year away from the Yankees. He spent last year as the DH with the Angels. Romero falls behind Matsui. 3 balls and a strike. JP Aronsevi did a heck of a job last night with Jesse Litch. Gaining more confidence and more leadership skills with every game behind the plate. Second walk early on for Romero. His first outing against Minnesota went 6 in the 3rd innings without walking a batter. It's one thing you don't want to do against Oakland is issue those free passes. Oakland is one of 3 teams in the American League that has but 2 home runs.
Think about that. 2 home runs, and we've already played a week.
Bounced up the middle. Hill will take it and step on the bag for the force out to end the inning. Ricky Romero issues a 2-out walk but gets the grounder to end the second. Still scoreless.
let's take a look at the scouting report for Trevor Cahill. Late start last year. He's on the DL. He didn't get to the big leagues till April the 30th. He had the most wins in the major leagues after April 30th. 18, tied with John Lester and CC Sabathia. He'll keep the ball in play. 118 strikeouts, 196 innings, so he won't strike you out, but he'll make you hit the ball, and he's got that sinking feeling when you're in that batter's box. That sinker is one of the best in the American League, and it's tough to square that pitch up.
As a hitter, you got to try to make him get the ball at least knee high before you offer at him. Aaron Hill looking for his first homer of the season. There's a knee high strike. Last time Trevor Cahill was here at the Rogers Center back on April 30th, he was pounded for 3 home runs. There's a line drive base hit into center. That ball was up a bit.
Well, you hit it on the head. When you've got a sinker ball pitcher like this, you have to make him get it up. I was talking to a scout who watched Cahill's opening day night. In his performance, he felt that he was too strong. A lot of times sinker ball pitchers need to get a little work to get that good sink on their pitches. They're too strong, the ball starts flying out of the strike zone.
Juan Rivera missed 1 for 14 in the early going. All right, when you think about a pitcher being too strong, especially a sinker ball pitcher, he'll throw right through that sink. That ball will stay up and lose its effectiveness. There goes Hill. Rivera swings and taps it foul. Blue Jays playing hit and run.
No sitting back. Make something happen.
Well, the coaching staff and John Farrell have created a mindset, anticipate anything. John Farrell had a series of clinics, if you will, on the back diamond in Dunedin, where he would take the offense and they would go through all sorts of base running drills and offensive plays, just creating a mindset that we'll do anything anytime. That hit and run in that situation is twofold. You create some movement on the infield, but it also might get Juan Rivera going a little bit at the plate.
Hitting under 100 and also keeps you out of double play. Runs might be in a premium this afternoon.
And anytime you're facing a team's #1 pitcher like Cahill, you expect it to be kind of a low-scoring game. That being said, we mentioned that start last April 30th here. Cahill was charged with a career-high tying 8 runs. Alex Gonzalez hit a pair of home runs off him, and Vernon Wells had a 2-run shot.
He made 30 starts last year for the Oakland A's, and in 15 of them, he allowed 1 run or fewer. So you got to figure he's not going to give up a whole lot, and it certainly helps to break out on top against him.
And we saw the same type of situation with last night's pitcher, Dallas Braden. 10 starts a year ago, Braden's team supported him with just 1 or fewer runs. 10 times.
Good time to start the runner here, 2-2. Cahill doesn't want to go to 3-2, so you got to figure he's going to throw a strike.
Another tapper foul. Oakland Athletics have a very young, very talented pitching staff headed by Trevor Cahill. Brett Anderson, the left-hander, had a very good ERA. Gio Gonzalez, you love Gio Gonzalez and his stuff.
More of a power pitcher than the other guys with a good hard breaking ball. How about those earned run average? A couple of them under 3. That's pretty impressive.
High fly ball left field. Willingham over near the wall. Now he's right on the warning track. Makes the catch in fair territory. As Revere just got underneath it. Ball carried all the way down into the corner, but hung up for Willingham.
Hit it in the right spot down the left field line. Just couldn't get that ball squared up on the bat. And Willingham gets it before it lands in the first row.
Edwin Encarnacion, the DH, as Hill dives back. Hill has a steal in just one attempt so far. He's 1 for 1. There goes Hill. Ball is taken. Suzuki's throw not nearly in time. Andy LaRoche did a good job of knocking down the short hop throw. Hill picks up his second steal.
Not much that Kurt Suzuki can do with this. That was a huge jump by Hill. Timed it perfectly from Trevor Cahill. Let's see how many steps he had. 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 steps before Cahill can get rid of the ball. No chance for Suzuki to throw him out.
As a catcher, you can see that big run at first, and it's really a sick feeling. You see Hill getting a new belt off the dugout bench. That head first slide popped that buckle.
Little wardrobe malfunction with the elbow. Here's another case of those head first slides.
We'll get into that a little bit as this game unfolds. John Farrell was asked about that this morning. Bounce to shortstop. Pennington. Encarnacion is retired. Hill moves over to third on the play. Junel Escobar slid head first into third base at the end of a triple and slammed into the knee of Andy LaRoche, who was at third, and hit his helmet right on the knee of LaRoche. Played defensively for the next half inning and then was taken out of the game. But the head first slide, and John Farrell talked about it, purely instincts. Players feel comfortable with that head first slide.
You don't want to take those instincts away from you. He was also telling us when he was the director of player development for the Cleveland Indians, they had a mandate in the minor leagues. They were not allowed to slide head first. Too many bad things could happen.
Travis Snyder, that comeback two-seamer, catches the inside corner. Snyder's first home run of the season last night against Dallas Braden. He hit a slider for a 3-run homer in the fourth. Again, trying to pound him inside. Blue Jays were trailing 2-1 at the time, and that 3-run home run catapulted them to the lead. Breaking ball. Snyder goes down on strike. Second strikeout. Both coming on breaking balls for Cahill. Blue Jays get their first hit but strand the base runner. Romero making his second start of the season. He was a winner on opening night, 28-18, and this is the southpaw success in the organization. First 62 starts with the Blue Jays. Romero heads the list.
The Oakland Raiders mantra, just win, baby. And that's what Romero does when he goes out there. He just wins. In fact, third most wins in his first 2 seasons in Blue Jay history. Only Roger Clemens with 41 and Jack Morris with 28 have more in their first 2 seasons in the big leagues with the Blue Jays.
Andy LaRoche starting at second base this afternoon. Finds himself in a hole 0-2. Ricky Romero became the first left-handed pitcher since Jimmy Key in 1989 to win on opening day. Key was on that list along with David Wells and the late John Cerruti. And Ricky Romero 10 games over 500 through his first 62 games. Jimmy Key was also 10 over at 25 and 15. Driven high, but not that deep to right field. Rivera now drifting just in front of the warning track. Makes the catch. Blue Jays have gotten off to a great start with the bats, but they've also thrown the ball very well. You see the team ERA, it's first in the American League. They're tied for 6th in starters ERA. The bullpen has been terrific. Again, last night, Mark Sepchinski and John Roush did the trick against Oakland, and the opponents are hitting just .226 against the Blue Jays pitchers.
How about the home runs allowed? They've only allowed 3 home runs, which is the best in the American League. And their strikeouts per 9 innings, the best in the American League.
Kyle Drabek part of that success. 7 strong innings of 1-hit ball in his first start. There's a bouncing ball that gets through and passed for a base hit to right. Cliff Pennington with the first hit of the afternoon off Romero.
Pounds the ball the other way. It looks like Aaron Hill's got a beat on it. And then he hits the turf hard after that dive.
Might have knocked the wind out of himself as he walks over to visit with John McDonald. Remember, McDonald's starting in place of Junel Escobar at shortstop. Ricky Romero induced a double play to end the first. Blue Jays going to turn double play here. They're going to have to do it quickly. Coco Crisp runs well, albeit he's got about 4 extra feet batting as a right-hander against Romero. Off-speed pitch, he's out in front.
He hasn't been able to pick up that changeup so far his first 2 at-bats. Struck out on that same pitch his first time up.
In the dirt, smothered by Arancibia. Pennington at first was caught stealing by Arancibia in the 3rd inning. In last night's game, he had singled with 1 out, and then Arancibia threw a strike to throw him out at second. That ended the 3rd inning. A ball and 2 strikes. On the ground is short. McDonald slid. Oh, they called him out at second base. What an effort by McDonald. It looked like the slide was going to rob him of any chance to get it out. Bob Guerin, the Oakland manager, is out to talk to Gary Cederstrom to see what happened on that play. Cederstrom, with his arms folded across his chest, listening to Guerin's plea to listen to him at least.
Johnny Mack has made a career out of this, and he feels like when he goes down like that, he can get up quicker. But you're right, he didn't get up. He wasn't able to get up. He slid, and then it kind of lost his balance a little bit. Good job by Aaron Hill to make like a first baseman. It looked like he might have been safe. Blue Jays catch a break. But what a job by Hill to take that in-between hop and keep that foot on the bag.
Boy, you can't fault Gary Cederstrom for his position. He had the best seat in the house to see the slide and the catch. Aaron Hill getting some defensive help from the positioning, but Cederstrom did a great job. There goes Chris, and the pitch is swung on and popped into right. 2 outs. Chris will continue on his way. Rivera makes the catch, and the Athletics are retired. Blue Jays with some more fine defensive work. John McDonald gets the force out at second base. After 2.5, we're still scoreless. Here this afternoon, and he's checked in a couple of different times early on with Brian Butterfield on his defensive alignment at short. Junel Escobar wasn't able to start this game because of his injury from last night's game, but McDonald wants to make sure he's standing in the right spot behind Romero. JP Arancibia off to a good start. He singled in 3 at-bats in last night's game. .655 OPS. Pretty good start to the season. Of course, it helps when you hit 2 homers and a triple in your first ball game.
He's got that home run swing for me. Slight uppercut. If he stays back and just concentrates on hitting the ball solidly, you're going to see a lot of home runs from JP. He gets in trouble when he tries to hit home runs.
And his first home run of the season went to dead center, and then he hit an opposite field home run. He didn't have to pull the ball to hit it out. Breaks his bat. Ball and bat get to third about the same time. Kuzminov showing great concentration as he throws out Arancibia.
Surprised a little bit with that barrel.
Oakland Athletics would have a tough stretch of games over their last 13 games here at Rogers Center, and they've managed just 2 wins, and the Blue Jays have outplayed them in every category.
Yeah, and one of them is they have shut them down when they get guys in scoring position. The Athletics are hitting just .212 with runners in scoring position, and if you don't hit home runs, you have to hit when guys are at second and third.
John McDonald came on defensively in the 6th inning of last night's game, was 1 for 1 as a hitter. The shortstop position last night had 4 hits. Escobar was 3 for 3. John McDonald was 1 for 1. 4 hits on the night. First time a Blue Jays shortstop position has had 4 hits in a game since 2004. Chris Woodward went 4 for 4 as the Jays shortstop. Best utility player in the game?
Johnny Mack? I think so. And I'll tell you why. Because he can play different positions. Along with the outfield, he's also a catcher. He's a third-string catcher. But he brings so much more to the plate.
He is truly the consummate team player. When Jason Nix arrived on the workout day here for the Blue Jays, it was John McDonald that took him around the infield and said, you know, this seam right here will cause you problems. Ball gets to you quickly here at third base, and he just walked him around the infield and helped him get a little more comfortable. This time he is caught looking at a Cahill fastball. Third strikeout of the afternoon for the Athletics right-hander.
He'll surprise you sometimes with Cahill with a good fastball. That ball is sinking down in a way. I don't blame him for taking that one. We were talking about it in the first inning about getting Cahill to get the ball up. That one is right at the bottom of the strike zone.
Rajay Davis lifts it to center field. Coco Crisp has speed and runs it down. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Cahill here in the third.
On Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Scoreless game back here at Rogers Center. Both clubs with just a single hit. Connor Jackson hit into a double play to end the first inning against Ricky Romero. Jackson, a former #1 pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks all the way back in 2003. Jackson, like Brandon Morrow, went to the University of California at Berkeley. Good-looking hitter when he first came out. Got to the big leagues in 2005 with the Diamondbacks. Appeared in 40 games. Became a regular in 2006, hit 15 home runs and 79 driven in. Late on a fastball.
Had a season in which he hit 300. That was with over 500 at bats with Arizona. I thought he was ready to take off, but he has battled some injuries since that season. That was 2008.
Checked his swing on that high fastball. Interesting, Romero's kind of gone back and forth, falling behind several hitters, but then jumping ahead 0-2 on the other half. This ball is lined right at Aaron Hill.
The important thing for Ricky Romero is don't overthrow. When he starts to overthrow, that's when the ball's all over the strike zone. When he stays back, good things happen. This time he stays back. Fastball, and Jackson lines it right at Aaron Hill, who's standing right there at second base.
That's part of the defensive alignment we were talking about in relationship to Brian Butterfield. Moves the infielders around according to who's on the mound and which team they're facing.
They all have a plan of what they're going to do to the hitters. If they execute the plan, this is in all probability where they're going to hit it.
When you start to get 8, 10, 12 at bats against a particular hitter, you have a pretty good pattern of where he's going to hit the ball. And what you do is you defend against the hard hit balls. You don't defend against the broken bats and the flukes.
Well, if you determine you're going to throw fastballs into Willingham, chances are he's going to pull it. Big, strong hitter that he is.
Gets underneath this one. It's popped up over in foul ground. Nix gives way for McDonald to make the play. 2 outs here in the 4th.
The Blue Jays do things a little differently, the way they set their middle infielders up. You know, you've always heard it, okay, play him to pull or play him shallow, play him in. They will play off the dirt of the infield. If they say right off the left edge, shortstop will, if he draws a line from where he's standing, it'll go right over the edge of the mound where the dirt meets the grass, and that's up the middle. That's how they'll play their defense at second and shortstop.
It's a good reference point for the infielders. You can't draw a line in the dirt here at Rogers Center. There's no dirt.
You can take some gum out there and maybe squish it into the turf.
Kevin Kuzminoff tapped back to Ricky Romero his first time up. It's jammed on this one and then knocks it down, steps on the bag. Romero has another 1-2-3 inning. Ricky Romero matching Trevor Cahill pitch for pitch. Stay connected with the Blue Jays through social media. 3 great ways to ensure you're always connected with the Blue Jays. BlueJays.com, Facebook.com/Blue Jays, and Twitter.com/Blue Jays. You can always stay up to date on the Blue Jays through the social media. We just got an update on the status of Junel Escobar, and he has a mild concussion. He has not been disabled. He is day-to-day, and they expect him to play sometime next week. So it doesn't sound as though they're going to put him on the disabled list. And the good thing about that is Major League Baseball has control over that determination. Once there's a head trauma and a player leaves the field, then it's all up to Major League Baseball's doctors to determine whether or not the player should be disabled.
Wouldn't it make sense, though, to put him on the 7-day to get another player here? You're hamstringing your manager, but I guess it depends on when next week.
Right. Cahill's ahead of Nix 0-2 and bouncing this one. The one thing that's interesting about the 7-day disabled list is the reason it's 7 days. Generally, the recovery time from a mild concussion is 5 to 7 days. So that's why this is an exclusively head trauma issue. And if it results in a concussion, doctors have the ability to use that 7-day disabled list. Nix grounds out to the shortstop, first out of the 4th. Stay tuned. Coming up, a connected update with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the brand new BlackBerry broadcast studio here at Rogers Center. Afternoon getaway day here at the Rogers Center. Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn will keep you up to date with what's going on around baseball. There's some hot teams and there are some cold teams. Boston, Tampa Bay, how about that? 0-5 is. Then jumps on the first pitch and grounds out to the first baseman.
I was taking a look at the AL East standings this morning, and they are in reverse order in the way they finished last year. How about this? Turn it upside down. Rays and the Red Sox, Yankees, all at the bottom.
Orioles lost their first game of the season yesterday to the Tigers and Justin Verlander. Verlander winning his first game. Boston, boy, I didn't see this coming.
No.
Got off to an 0-5 start. Tampa Bay. I kind of expected Tampa Bay might struggle, not to this degree. They were hitting 136 as a team.
That's the big problem.
You and I could hit on that team.
Yeah. We had a chance to see them before the season started, and we talked about the holes in their lineup, just not the same without Carl Crawford and Carlos Pena.
Tampa Bay has scored 7 runs in 5 games. I don't care how good you pitch.
Yeah.
You don't get any points for a tie.
That's a surprise because they have that ability to manufacture runs. The Rays. They can steal runs, do a lot of things on the bases.
You just can't get on. Aaron Hill in a hole 0-2. Jumps on a high pitch and fouls it back. Hill has the only Blue Jays hit of the afternoon. He singled to center field leading off the second. How about the Texas Rangers? They are on fire. They've won 6 in a row to get out of the gate.
It's like a big old ball rolling downhill. It's gathering steam with the Rangers. You watch them play, and I've had a chance to watch them a couple times. They've got that type of offense that, hey, you fall behind 4 or 5-0, they don't care. Give us a challenge.
Hill stays alive. Fouls off the breaking ball. Ron Washington, the Rangers manager, has done a good job of rotating the players. He had Mitch Moreland in right field. Started the game in right field. Michael Young's played first and DH'd, and he's keeping everybody involved in the action.
Saw him at second base in a start this week.
Reached and pulled to short. Pennington in time to get Hill. Another 1, 2, 3, 4th inning for Trevor Cahill. Now it's time for a connected update with Jamie and Greg live from the brand new BlackBerry broadcast studio. Here tomorrow on Sportsnet, MLB on Sportsnet. It'll be the Yankees opening up the Red Sox home schedule. 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time, right here on Rogers Sportsnet. What kind of reaction do you think the Red Sox will get when they return home after a shaky start to their season?
Oh, you know those Red Sox fans, the Red Sox Nation.
Matt Silly hits a liner to center. After a couple of steps in, Davis makes the catch. John Farrell was asked about the Red Sox slow start. He said, listen, I got my hands full worrying about the Blue Jays. He said, you don't keep track of what everybody else is doing until you're preparing to play them. And he said, I know that's a good team. We respect what they do. We anticipate they'll be as good as they've been the last several years. But right now I'm focused on the Blue Jays and the Athletics.
What else can you say to that?
Yeah,
you know,
I'm really happy they're struggling. Just shows how important I was.
That's not the kind of guy he is.
Not at all.
No. Plus, you make so many friends when you're in a place as long as John was. You don't want to see them struggle unless they're playing against you.
Ricky Romero and Trevor Cahill certainly have pitched up to their billing. Both throwing one-hit shutouts to this point. There's a looping fly ball down the right field line. That'll get down fair and go all the way to the wall. Suzuki headed into second base as he picks up the double. His third double of the season comes with one out here in the fifth.
Just the second hit of the afternoon for the A's. Trying to go inside. He leaves it out over the middle of the plate. These type of games where you have the number ones going against each other, they're usually low scoring games. It always comes down to one play here or one play there that you make or you don't make. So this is going to be interesting to watch with Romero now having to execute his pitches to the bottom of the order.
Second baseman Andy LaRoche jumps back from an inside heater. The Athletics have hit 9 doubles in this series. They haven't been able to take full advantage of the extra base hits.
That's that hitting with runners in scoring position again. That number that we flashed up on the board.
Ball on a strike. One out. Catcher Kurt Suzuki at second base. Romero really got in on the hands of LaRoche with that fastball. And there's the beauty of Ricky Romero's pitching. He's got just enough fastball to make you conscious of the inside corner and then get you thinking inside and drops that changeup down and away.
Just think when he can really command that cutter in on those right-handers or drop that curveball in there at will.
Pulled to third. That's a fair ball. Nicks across the diamond in time to get LaRoche. What a strong arm.
We had a chance to watch Jason Nicks last year when he was a member of the Cleveland Indians, and I was very impressed with him. Can play second base. He can play the corner outfield. He's played a dynamite third base so far the first week of the season, and he doesn't give you an inch. He'll battle you.
He was a second baseman when he signed with the Colorado Rockies and was in line to be their everyday second baseman. He's got off to a poor start with the bat. Cliff Pennington singled to right his first time up. This time goes after the first pitch, hits a one-hopper to Aaron Hill. Ricky Romero continues to get those ground ball outs. Just 9 pitches in the fifth. We're still scoreless. comfort zone. That's Jeffrey Lupo, the Maple Leafs winger on the left. The TD comfort zone, courtesy of TD. Joffrey Lupo, the winger for the Leafs, enjoying an off day here at Rogers Center. Juan Rivera will lead things off here in the fifth. Slow curveball for a strike that get me over. Curveball.
He's got a pretty good curveball. We've talked about his sinker, and he's also got a changeup. 3 quality pitches that he can throw over at any time.
Bouncing ball. Pennington behind second, goes to first. Rivera's retired. Both of these ball clubs have very young, very talented pitching rotations. The starting staff of the Blue Jays just a bit younger than Oakland. Oakland has more experience, but you see the Blue Jays 25 years, 138 days. Younger average age for their rotation than the Athletics.
Young and talented. Blue Jays and the Athletics match up nicely, these two teams, because of their great young pitching. Cahill is the leader of the pack.
He's just 23 years old. Opening day starter for Oakland this season. Edwin Encarnacion went too far on the first pitch. Lays off that outside fastball.
You know, the last AL pitcher 23 years or younger to win at least 18 games in the big leagues, Brett Saberhagen.
Wow.
Back in 1985 when he won 20 games for Kansas City.
And as you pointed out earlier, Cahill started out the season in the minor leagues. He was on a disabled list, went on a rehab start to Sacramento, and didn't join the ball club till the end of April. And still went 18-8.
Impressive. Very impressive. At least 7 innings pitched in 15 of those 30 starts. They really have something with him and Anderson, Gio Gonzalez, Dallas Braden.
Oakland's young, but not that young. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We are in the 5th of a scoreless game. Young fans can relate to the young Blue Jays starters. Well, I tell you what, let me ask you this. On Sunday, we saw Nick Blackburn for the Twins. Good sinker ball pitcher. Tuesday night, Brandon McCarthy has rebuilt his approach. He's a sinker baller now. Does that help the Blue Jay hitters facing sinker ballers in 3 of the last 4 games?
I think it certainly does. But this one is a turbo sinker, if you will. Encarnacion finds out firsthand. 3-2. That's right after. You are geared for the fastball. And watch the movement. See how Suzuki caught the ball with his thumb down. Moved right out of the strike zone.
2 outs. Encarnacion had a good idea he was going to get a fastball, but you can see Encarnacion and Escobar talking about the late movement. Four strikeouts now for Trevor Cahill. Snyder was a strikeout victim in the 2nd.
This pitch here, I think, will tell us a lot about Trevor Cahill this afternoon if he attacks him 2-0. Home run power from the left side. Changeup.
A little respect there, and if you're going to pitch and be successful in the big leagues, you have to be able to throw something other than a fastball in the hitter count. That's what Cahill did right there. So now what's he look for? 3-1.
I was thinking the same thing. Maybe change up. If he's going to throw it 2-0, maybe he'll throw it 3-1. Fastball.
A little fastball, and Snyder was late. He probably had changeup in his mind.
Yeah, but that's pitching right there. Getting in the head, inside the head of the hitter, keeping him off balance. that swing tells you. You're right. He was looking changeup.
Kurt Suzuki does a good job of mixing the pitches, and you can see the wheels spinning in his head. Popped up. Shallow center field. Now the left fielder Willingham calls for it. Pennington peels out of his way, and Willingham makes the catch. We've got a heck of a pitcher's duel going on here. We are scoreless after 5 at Rogers Center. Rogers Center, and you can see why. Both starting pitchers have really shut down the offense. These two teams combined for 22 hits in game 1 and 17 in game 2. So far this afternoon, just 3.
Bring out the number ones through 5 innings. They've given up 3 hits between them, and more importantly, Cahill 62 pitches through 5 innings. A little bit more because he has 4 strikeouts. Ricky Romero has been outstanding. 57 pitches through 5 innings. That's very efficient pitching.
That's exactly what Bruce Walton wants from his starters. Pound down in the zone, get quick outs, get deep into a ball game. Coco Crisp has struck out and hit into a fielder's choice. He's a key out in this ball game. Keep him off the bases.
One of the players that represents some speed, the ability to get himself into scoring position without a hit. Great steal percentage last year in just 75 games that he played. 32 stolen bases.
Good curveball, and Chris strikes out. It's the best curveball of the afternoon from Ricky Romero.
It certainly was. Watch where this ball starts. Way outside. And then where it finishes, right above the shoe tops in the right-hand batter's box.
Derek Barton, the first baseman. Well, there's nothing like watching 2 good pitchers go toe-to-toe. Fair ball inside the line down the right field corner. Rivera has a strong arm. It's a high throw and way off mark. Boy, John McDonald, what a job McDonald did right there. He knew he didn't have a chance to make a play on the high throw, but he held the glove down as if he were going to make a tag to make sure Barton slid into second. If the ball gets away, he's going to have to locate it and then get up and maybe advance to third.
Yeah, possibly get to third base with less than 2 outs, but a heads-up play by McDonald. First of all, the ball rifled down the right field line, and you mentioned it that Rivera's got a good arm. This time a little bit too strong. Airmails it over McDonald, but he's right there to act like he's tagging him to make sure that he gets down. Nothing wrong with that. Decoying the runner a little bit. You see it all the time with middle infielders around the bag.
Rivera just launched the errant throw, but Barton had to slide. And the reason that's important, if that ball bounces away from Jason Nix and he's on his feet, he might move up to third. Once again, John McDonald playing with his head. Connor Jackson 0 for 2. A little extra zip on that fastball at 93. That's what you can do when you've been economical with your pitches. You still got a lot of zip in your arm, and you can reach back when you need a little extra.
A little bit left in the tank when you need a big strikeout.
Curveball just outside of third. So now Romero has thrown a couple of good curveballs in this inning. He struck out Coco Crisp. He's put it in the mind of Connor Jackson. And that might make his fastball a little bit more effective. Belt high inside.
If you get him thinking about something away, something soft away, maybe you get Connor Jackson thinking about over the plate, you can bust one inside.
Away first. So now he is throwing him breaking ball inside, fastball away. He's got him set up for a 2-2 changeup.
I think that's the pitch he hit his first time up, where he bounced into a double play.
Off speed pitch, grounded to second. Jackson's retired. Barton moves to third. Boy, that was a great example of Romero and Aaron Seavey just carving up the strike zone with all of his weapons.
No, honestly, I probably messed with
I mentioned Aaron Seavey did a great job with Romero opening night. Yesterday, again, in Jesse Litch's outing, he was right on with the right-hander. Litch struck out 7.
This is where Romero is going to have to show his faith in his catcher also, with a runner at third base and 2 outs. If he wants to try and throw one of those curveballs in the dirt, got to have confidence that he's going to block it.
All right, blocked the fastball very well right there. That'll give Romero added confidence in this at bat. If he feels like throwing the hook, he can do it now.
Certainly will. 18 wild pitches last year, which was #1 in the American League, but only 5 in his last 23 starts. You have to have confidence in your catcher if you're going to do that.
That was great technique as he slid to his left and squared up on that ball in the dirt. Two balls and a strike. You can bet Romero is aware who's on deck. Kevin Kuzminoff, who's grounded out twice. Another off-speed pitch. Boy, when you can throw back-to-back changeups and still have a good hitter out in front, you've got a good one.
Yeah, throw another one. Surprise him. Not afraid to throw it all the time.
Curveball pulled foul. He stayed on top of that breaking pitch very effectively and got it in a good spot.
He's got a better one this afternoon than the one we saw on Friday night in the opener. Had trouble getting that curveball into the strike zone against the Minnesota Twins. Still did not walk about.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Outside corner with a hook. Not much Willingham can do with that one. Started away, dropped on the outside corner. Romero strikes out 2. A big strikeout to get Willingham. game on Sportsnet Radio, the Fan 590. Fan590.com and across Canada on the Blue Jays Radio Network. Jerry Howarth and Alan Ashby won't let you miss a thing. Alex Anthopoulos, the Vice President of Baseball Operations and General Manager of this ball club, to be pleased with the start his team has gotten off to here early. I would admire the way he works.
Yes, very thorough.
Under the radar. He's all about putting a team together, and well, John Farrell just can't say enough about the way these people in the front office have supported him early on. JP Arancibia drills it to left field. This ball is up. This ball is off the wall. Arancibia around first, is headed for second base. A leadoff double here in the sixth. That was curious the way Josh Willingham went after that ball. I think he thought it was higher up on the wall than it was.
And he was going to decoy the hitter, Arancibia, thinking that it was a line drive he was going to catch and maybe get him at second base. Ball stung to left field by Arancibia, but Willingham, the left fielder, puts his glove out like he's going to catch it, possibly decoy it. I thought he might have had a shot at maybe making the catch.
It hit on the warning track short of the fence in left field. But Arancibia gets to second. Good start to the sixth. John McDonald can handle the bat. Shows bunt and bunts it foul. Blue Jays throughout this homestand have had bunting sessions every day. With the day game and the 12:30 start, they did not bunt today, but they have had a group out here bunting on this artificial surface almost every day of the homestand.
Johnny Mack is one of them. Mike McCoy, Rajay Davis. We've seen Jason Nix out here pushing the ball to the right side. They'll set a cage up on the right side of the infield where they'll try to bunt that ball.
He's shortened up and then pulled the bat back. He had the freedom to swing, and he takes a strike. Well, now he's got a battle. You want to take advantage of that leadoff double by Arancibia and move the base runner over to third. He bunts with 2 strikes. Cahill throws him a curveball, and McDonald strikes out with the foul bunt.
Center fielder, number 11, Rajay.
So back to the top of the order with 1 out. John McDonald looking to Rajay Davis to pick him up here. Scoreless game in the 6th. Davis has been able to get the ball in the air a couple times off of Cahill. And he tops it right at home plate. Davis looking for his first RBI of the season against his former teammate Trevor Cahill. Oh for 2 so far this afternoon. He's right at 250.
Nothing would be finer, according to Rajay. Have a good series against his ex-mates. They asked him the first day in here, do you know what these pitchers have? And he goes, I certainly do. I know exactly what they like to do.
Bounced in the dirt. That'll get Arancibia over to third. So they get the base runner to third base with less than 2 outs, exactly what they wanted.
Curveball in the dirt. Suzuki really slides his feet over, but it ricochets off of him. Heads up play by Arancibia to move up. Now the infield's going to have to come in. But first, a meeting from the pitching coach. The infield in. We will watch what the Blue Jays do now in terms of running on contact. See if they try and score the run that way. The infield has really been shaky for Oakland in this series.
Well, it sure has. And for the season, they've committed 9 errors. Third baseman Kuzminoff has 3. Derek Barton, the first baseman, has 3. John Farrell has proven time and time again early in this season he'll do anything to score a run. He'll squeeze, he'll take advantage of ball in the dirt, whatever it takes. And now he's got the advantage of the drawn-in Oakland defense. that's the pitch that Davis has to lay off of. That breaking ball that's in the zone and then breaks down and away. He's always had a tendency to chase that pitch. He's improved dramatically on his ability to lay off. Of course, Cahill knows that, having watched Davis play.
Well, he'll probably just keep going to it.
2 balls and a strike. Good sinking fastball. He could only get the top half of the baseball. Blue Jays have only hit 4 balls to the outfield here, including Aaron Sevia's double.
Rajay's done it twice. He has stunned the ball a couple of times to center field. We'll take one of those right now. One of those fly balls to the center fielder.
There's that breaking ball. Davis will run down the first baseline. Suzuki makes a strong throw to retire Davis. There's that breaking ball. He threw it in the dirt, and Davis chased.
Number 28, Sixer.
Cahill will pick up his 6th strikeout of the afternoon. Good job by Suzuki getting and smothering that curveball in the dirt. And then quickly making an accurate throw over to first base.
So now it'll be up to Jason Nix to deliver with 2 outs. Aaron Sevia's got to be alert for a ball in the dirt. Took something off of that breaking pitch. Nix struck out on a curveball in the first inning. Well, what a job by Suzuki. You can see him when he calls for that breaking ball. He anticipates a pitch in the dirt. He was really quick to his right.
And smothers it. You have to have quick feet, get out there, and keep it in front of you.
Into right field, they'll get down for a base hit, and the Blue Jays take a 1-0 lead. Jason Nix with his 2nd RBI of the season has staked Ricky Romero to a 1-0 lead here in the 6th.
Do something to help the club when you get a chance to play. Make a play in the field, take the extra base, or come up with a big 2-out RBI. Nix slashes the ball to right field to break the scoreless tie.
As an extra player, you don't have to get many RBIs as long as they're big ones like this. Nix looks antsy at first. He didn't have a steal yet this season, but he certainly gotten the attention of Trevor Cahill.
Cahill had 5 pickoffs last year. That was not his good move.
The Athletics don't score a lot of runs, so their pitchers have to be good at shutting down the running game. Fake break, and Nix shut her down. There's another reason to run in this situation is the breaking ball. Takes a little longer to get to the catcher, and that'll give you an extra stride or 2 towards second.
I'll take my chances getting a guy into scoring position for our 3 and 4 hitter, Lyndon Hill.
Two outs, a run in here in the 6th. There goes Nix, high throw to second base, not in time. Nix picks up his first bag of the season, and they run with 2 outs with Lind at the plate.
Take a pitch. If he's safe, now you're hitting with a runner in scoring position. You can see how close it is at second base, but Nix, with that head first slide, gets his hand in there, and they tag him right on top of his hand. Suzuki can't believe it. Second stolen base of the afternoon by the Blue Jays.
Adam Lind will allow a base runner to get into scoring position every time. He doesn't care how many outs there are. He doesn't care if you open up the base at first. Just rather hit with a chance to drive in a run. Lind has 5 ribbies so far. Fooled on the outspeed pitch. Good way to start the season for Lind. And out of the chute with a 5-game hit streak. Hitless so far against Cahill. A couple of ground ball outs to the first baseman. Good plate coverage there as he spoils a good pitch away.
Validates the hard work that you do in the offseason, the changes that you have made. Talked about that in the pregame show about the changes in his stance, a little bit more upright. He has worked with Dwayne Murphy to help him see the ball a little bit better. And it's working.
There goes Nix to third. Ball is ripped into right field. It is caught by Connor Jackson. Then hit it right on the button, but the right fielder made a nice diving catch. Ball was sinking in front of him. This saves a run for sure as Jackson really goes to the glove to make a play and bails out Cahill. 1-0 Blue Jays after 6. Blue Jays will be on the road for the next 10 games. They will return at the end of April. Yankees are in town 19th and 20th. Then the Rays come into town for a big series. You can get tickets when you call 416-341-1234. That's the Blue Jays. You can log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations for tickets. Yankees off to a 3-2 start. We mentioned earlier Tampa Bay 0-5 to start their 2011 season. Ricky Romero out in front of Oakland 1-0. Kevin Kuzminoff leads things off here in the 7th. You see Romero slapping his left leg as if to suggest he jumped a little bit on that last curveball. And
stay back on that leg just a little bit longer.
Just missed the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike to the leadoff batter here in the 7th. Kuzminoff grounded back to the pitcher and grounded out to first base. Oh, Aaron Sevia slid to the inside corner and Romero threw it right in on the bat handle. Kuzminoff couldn't get the bat around.
Concentrate on the glove. Eliminate all the other stuff. Get your pitch, throw it with.
Good curveball. That breaking ball is good for Ricky the last 2 innings.
Yeah, it certainly has. He has had some big times. Last inning with a runner at second base, he's going to face 3 and 4, and he's going to use all of his pitches in his arsenal. Change up to get a very good hitter in Jackson. Now watch the sequence here. Change up, cutter, changeup down and away to Willingham. Let's go soft to the hard-hitting Willingham, and then we'll backdoor him with the curveball. We saw a little bit of everything right there from Romero.
Boy, this game has really unfolded just exactly how Bruce Walton would like it. Early on, Romero used his fastball and changeup. And then the breaking ball started to come around in the middle innings. And he's really aware. As a pitcher, you can't go to the mound every day with every single pitch working for you. You go out there, you warm up, you find out what you have, and you just deal with whatever's working on a particular day. Hideki Matsui bounces it off the plate. Aaron Hill takes the high hop. Boy, Lynn did a good job to get back to the bag. A lot going on that play right there. Ball was topped, a lot of funky spin on it. And Lynn and Hill got their heads together and pick up the out.
Aaron Hill took command of this ground ball. He calls off Lynn. You see Lynn here right at the last second, then get over to first base. And any time the first baseman can handle the baseball, you let that happen.
Take a look at Ricky Romero here. He has to cover the bag. Now, Lynn sees Romero and almost pulls out of the way, but Romero backed off and Lynn took the bag. Boy, a lot of things going on over there at first on that play. So it goes as a 4-3 ground out. Kurt Suzuki doubled his last time up. Ricky Romero threw that last pitch, backed off the mound as if to regroup a bit.
Right. Rushing just a little bit.
Two outs. Topped himself into a strike. Romero, for a second time this season, has pitched his way into the seventh. That's what you want from your starters. That fastball just exploded. Suzuki was anticipating a strike.
Looking for something inside, and you're right, exploded. Very efficient, too, has Romero been. Trying to get through the seventh inning with his pitch count under 90.
Off speed pitch. Very defensive swing by Suzuki, but he stays alive. Bruce Walton does a terrific job with his entire pitching staff. And he takes each individual as its own separate entity, and he doesn't coach them all the same fashion. And he knows the personalities of each and every one of them. Looped into the seats down the left field line.
I like what he was telling us today about the pitchers. He said, I'll never tell them, hey, get your slider down. Well, tell me how I can get my slider down in the strike zone.
He has catchphrases with every one of his starters. When something's going awry on the mound, he won't go out there and talk about what you didn't do. He'll just remind each of the pitchers, hey, remember, shorten the back, downhill, throw it through the window pane. Little catchphrases to get him right. Ball is drilled to center field. Davis on the run, on the track, makes the catch. Suzuki got most of it, but it hangs up for Rajay Davis. Ricky Romero has a 1-0 lead against Oakland. Shutting out Oakland on just 3 hits through 7 innings. He and the catcher J.P. Arancibia have been on the same page all afternoon. And you can see Romero talking about that ball sinking. He's had good movement on his changeup. The curveball has been good to him here in the middle innings, and the fastball's got late life. That combines for 3 hits through 7 innings. Aaron Hill has a hit and 2 trips. Blue Jays trying to sweep Oakland in this 3-game series. We told you the offense is different.
How about your cleanup hitter trying to get on base with a drag bunt? I do not believe I have ever seen Aaron Hill try to do that.
26 home runs a year ago in what has been characterized as a down season. Here he's trying to get on base. Was that just wide of third? And when you really break it down, there's only one thing that really matters with a ball club. It's winning games.
Right.
I mean, after all, it's professional baseball. You know, you don't get any points for being a good team. You don't get any points for finishing 500. Only thing that matters is winning. And John Farrell says, you know what? Every day in the big leagues is a test. You test yourself every day to see what you can do. And he comes from a great example of that the last 4 seasons as the pitching coach with the Boston Red Sox.
What can you do today to help your team win a ball game? That's what it's all about. And when you have everybody pulling in the right direction, it's a lot of fun.
Off-speed pitch, and Hill goes down. Cahill picks up another strikeout. That's 7 on the afternoon for the Oakland right-hander.
Really not known as a strikeout pitcher. He had 118 of them last year in 196 innings pitched. But he, like Ricky Romero's, got 3 pitches working this afternoon.
And Cahill's just 23 years old. You can bet he's going to get a little bit stronger as he grows into his body a little bit more. He's going to understand the value of changing speeds. Ricky Romero has made dramatic strides. This is his 3rd season. Juan Rivera 0 for 2. Rivera would like to get things going a bit before he faces his former teammates tomorrow night in Anaheim. It'll be opening night when the Blue Jays take on the Angels.
Couple of tough righties in that series that we will see from the Angels, excuse me.
Bounced over the mound, and the Roach is there, and Rivera's retired. 2 outs here in the 7th. In the opener, Kyle Drabek will make his 2nd start of the season. He'll be going up against Urban Santana. They don't even have Joel Pinheiro back. Drabek 7 innings of 1-hit ball his first time out. It'll be like a playoff atmosphere Friday night in Anaheim. Packed house. Encarnacion drives it to center field. It hangs up there for Coco Crisp. Another quick inning for Trevor Cahill. Blue Jays lead it 1-0. Ricky Romero shutting out Oakland. Canada. Back at Rogers Center, that is Poe from Kung Fu Panda 2, movie soon to be released, and very appropriate that the character from Kung Fu Panda 2 would be here on Kids Day at Rogers Center. That ball is driven to deep center field and off the wall. One hops the wall in center field as Andy LaRoche has had some series here. Not expected to play, actually started at shortstop in the opener. And a good night at the plate, and now he has started things off here in the 8th with a long double to the wall in center field.
Certainly has had a very good series, waiting for that first pitch and driving it to right center field. No chance for Rajay Davis to run that one down, and now the Blue Jays are going to have to work leadoff double, see if they can strand him there.
Number 9 hitter Cliff Pennington. Blue Jays are shortened up, looking for the bunt. Pennington squared and pulled the bat back. You see Lind at first, well in front of the bait. Same over at third with Jason Nix. Another aspect of a lot of the drills in spring training was the bunt defense.
12 sacrifice bunts last year for Pennington. I was talking to Brian Butterfield the other day when Adam Lind came over, and they started discussing about the bunt play, this bunt play right here, and he was asking him, how far should I come in when he bunts the ball? He said, if you can come in and make that play, go ahead and take it away from the pitcher.
It's a very easy play for a left-handed throwing first baseman. The momentum takes you right toward the target over at third. So he can charge hard in this situation when you are fairly certain Pennington's going to bunt the ball. Squares and bunts it to Romero. They got a shot at third. Looks at third. Chooses the easy out at first. But boy, he had a shot at LaRoche at third, and he knew it. He made the right play, but didn't execute it.
Ball bunted a little bit too hard by Pennington, and Romero is an excellent athlete. He's got the ball, and he's got an open view to the third baseman. But for some reason, did not feel comfortable enough to make the play. Takes a quick look. That's where you got to trust your catcher.
Now, he anticipated the right thought. He looked at third and really had a shot at LaRoche, but with that bunt, his day has come to an end. He will leave. The runner at third, his responsibility. Just 4 hits into the 8th inning. 7 1/3 for Ricky Romero. He stands to win his 2nd game of the season. Jason Frazier on out of the bullpen. Talking with Jesse Litch on the bench. Marrero comes out of the game after 7 1/3. held Oakland to just 4 hits, but the tying run is his responsibility at third base in person of Andy LaRoche, and Jason Frazier makes his 4th appearance of the young season.
His last appearance was the first game in this series. Gave up a home run in that game, but the Blue Jays came back in the walk-off. Through that 1 inning, had 3 punch-outs, and that's why he might be in the game here. Turn Crisp around and try and get a strikeout.
Coco Crisp batting left-handed for the first time this afternoon. Cuts on the first pitch, an off-speed pitch. Frazier using that changeup very effectively. Power is so important out of the bullpen. Enough power to rack up those strikeouts. As you mentioned, Frazier with 3 strikeouts in the 10th inning on Tuesday night. Cued off the end of the bat. Frazier's ahead 0-2.
He's got a changeup that he calls a fosh. It's more like a split finger changeup. Puts his ring finger in contact with the ball along with his pinky finger, that is his stabilizer, and he'll use that as a changeup. It's become a very effective pitch for him.
The bullpen had 9 strikeouts on Tuesday night. And that's one thing that's a little bit different with this particular bullpen. They have the ability to pick up strikeouts, and that's exactly what you need in this situation. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. Strikeout, pop up. Went for the outside corner and missed. Aaron Seavey did a good job of corralling that high fastball.
Looks like they want to stay away from the batter. Coco Crisp. Fastball's away. Infield is going to play in with the runner at third base. Doesn't have a very big lead.
We'll get a walking lead when Frazier comes second. Struck him out. Ball in the dirt. Gets away from Aaron Seavey, and the A's are going to tie it up. That wild pitch to strikeout. Crisp is safe at first, but they went to the off-speed pitch. That run will be charged to Ricky Romero as the ball got away from J.P. Arancibia.
That was it right there. The Fosh change. Watch the movement. And they have Crisp struck out. But the ball hits the heel of J.P. Arancibia's glove. He cannot find it as it heads all the way back to the backstop.
Wild pitch. So Romero will get a no decision after 7 1/3. Very good outing, his second start of the season. Coco Crisp liable to run on the first pitch here with 1 out. As Pat mentioned earlier, Crisp had 32 steals in 35 attempts a year ago. It's always been a high percentage base stealer.
One of the best percentages last year in the fewest amount of games. Just 75 games last year because of various injuries to Coco Crisp.
Pitch out. Crisp picked it up right away and took 1 step and shut it down. Coco Crisp had 24 straight seals last year from July 24th to September 13th. 24 straight. He's leaning now, and he'll be chased back. A 91.4% success rate last season. The second highest percentage in franchise history. Got a big lead. There he goes. Arancibia bobbles the ball. J.P. Arancibia couldn't find the handle, and Coco Crisp picks up his second steal of the season.
Right, you knew he wasn't going to stay at first base very long. It's a good pitch to throw on, but when he transfers it from the glove to the hand, it just pops out. Might have had his chance because it was a good hard fastball.
And you better stop him at second. If he gets a walking lead, he'll break to third. Just off the plate. 2 balls and a strike to Derek Barton. Barton had a double down the right field line back in the 6th. Right on the inside corner. 2-2. Oakland has tied it up here in the 8th. Only 7 hits combined in the ball game. Oakland has 4. Blue Jays have 3. Crisp is working for a big lead at second. Boy, he kept inching off the bag, and Frazier did a good job of just stepping off.
Certainly is. I've been watching him. It's getting a little bit larger with every pitch. John McDonald trying to play with a good pitch there.
Inside corner. Frazier gets the strikeout of Barton. Now they're 2 down.
Fastball, but look where it is. Right at the bottom of the zone, and we have said that the last couple of nights. Now the pitchers have hit the bottom of the zone for strikeouts.
That's what Bruce Walton wants from his pitchers. Pound down. That's his mantra. 2 outs now. Tie ball game. Coco Crisp at second represents the go-ahead run. Connor Jackson 0 for 3. Andy LaRoche started the inning. He had a double off Ricky Romero to the wall in center field. And Cliff Pennington sacrificed LaRoche over to third, and that ended Ricky Romero's day. There's another fastball strike.
We'll probably be thinking about that bunt play if they had a shot at third base, the way this inning has unfolded.
Came off the mound over near the third base foul line, got to the ball very quickly, looked at third, and I believe he had a shot at LaRoche. But he chose to go to first and retire Pennington.
If you're not absolutely sure you're getting an out, if they are sacrificing, you've got to take an out somewhere.
Ball and a strike. There goes Chris to third. There'll be no throw. Well, he just kept working for a bigger and bigger lead, and he picks up the second steal of this inning.
That's a walking lead, and as soon as Frazier turns and heads towards home, he'll make the steal. I don't like giving up the ground there with a right-handed batter up and the third baseman giving ground. I just let him have it.
Yeah, you don't want to vacate your defensive position should Jackson swing at the ball. Fastball, foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Similar situation earlier in the inning with LaRoche at third. Crisp was at the plate. He struck out, but the ball got away from Arancibia. It was a wild pitch that allowed LaRoche to come in to score from third, and Crisp reached base on the strikeout. Ripped into left field past the diving Nix at third. Oakland has taken a 2-1 lead. Connor Jackson delivers his second RBI of the season.
He's just a good hitter, I think. He's got a very short stroke, good plate coverage. Looked like an off-speed pitch again from Frazier, down and in this time. They wanted that one away. Got it down and in. It's just out of the reach of Jason Nix at third base.
And ball stayed too high. You can see Frazier's reaction is Nix dove for it, but it was past him into left field. 2-1 Oakland. Josh Willingham homered off Frazier to lead off the bottom of the 10th in the series opener on Tuesday night. Trevor Cahill now has a 1-run lead in this ball game. Chris Walton goes to the mound. The bullpen is standing by ready. Camp, the right-hander, Percy, the left-hander, appear to be loose and standing by. Mason Frazier has thrown 17 pitches in this inning. Here's Walton out to see if he can't get Frazier back into the strike zone. Ricky Romero, another good start. He'll have nothing to show for this one.
Into the 8th inning this afternoon, 4 hits, the 1 earned run. He had his pitches working. The strikeout total was down, but that's okay. He made them hit the ball. He had quick innings that allowed him to get deep into this game. And now it's up to the bullpen to keep it right here. Willingham homered off of Jason Frazier the other night.
What looked like a breaking ball to put the A's ahead momentarily. Then bottom of the inning, Junel Escobar with a walk-off 2-run home run won it. Two and two.
5 strikeouts already this season for Frazier. Need a big one right here.
Hit him. Trying to come inside and missed with the fastball and caught Willingham on the arm. And John Farrell has just made the call to the bullpen. He's got Sean Kemp, the right-hander, ready, and he has been called into this game. So Jason Frazier will hand the ball off to the manager as Sean Kemp jogs out of the pen. He'll come on to face Kevin Kuzmanoff with 2 on and 2 outs. Oakland leads 2-1. with their great pitching staff and all those veteran hitters. Tough start for Boston. Third pitcher of the afternoon for the Blue Jays will be Sean Kemp, coming out of the pen with 2 on and 2 out here in the 8th inning.
First batter that he will face will be Kevin Kuzminoff. Kuzminoff has spent 3 of his first 4 years in the big leagues in the National League, so he has just faced Sean Kemp a couple of times, and Sean has not given up a hit to him.
And big sweeping breaking ball should be effective against Kuzminoff. That pitch hits well away. That pitch right there cued off the end of the bat. Kemp ahead quickly. 1-run ball game, and it's been a heck of a pitcher's duel. Trevor Cahill hooked up with Ricky Romero. Scoreless to the bottom of the 6th. Romero charged with 1 run in 7 1/3. Cahill has pitched 7 innings, and there's that breaking ball. Shortstop McDonald second for the force out. Sean Kemp does his job, strands 2 base runners as they close out the 8th, but the Blue Jays are down by a run. Now it's time for a connected update with Jamie and Greg, live from the brand new Blackberry broadcast studio. Eighth inning with a 1-run lead, he has really shut down the potent Blue Jays attack.
He certainly has. He has used a changeup, a good fastball, and a curveball to pick up 7 strikeouts. 15 out of the 30 times last year he pitched into the 7th inning. Defensive changes for the Oakland A's. Mark Ellis, a fine fielder, stations himself at second, taking over for Andy LaRoche.
Travis Snyder, he squares and shows bunt, takes a pitch outside. Snyder leads the team with 6 RBI. Good fastball. Right-hander Grant Balfour was the losing pitcher in the opener as Junel Escobar hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 10th inning on Tuesday night. Well, Cahill has really had a good breaking ball here this afternoon. That really fooled Travis Snyder.
Again, he's got 3 pitches working, and he's not just out there throwing, really getting into the heads of these hitters. His career high in strikeouts is 10, set back in June of last season against Pittsburgh.
Cahill's a lot like Ricky Romero in that he has command of the strike zone with multiple pitches. Curveball has been good. Changeup's been very effective, and he's got late life on his fastball. Hammered to first, knocked down. A good play by Barton. He flips to first base in time to get the head first sliding Travis Snyder. That was a shot. Good play by Barton at first.
Even though it's a one-run game, the Oakland A's choose not to guard the line in the 8th inning, and it pays off for them. This ball is smoked by Snyder to the right side, but you can see Barton is still way off the line, and that allows him to get to that ball and make the play.
When we talk about the theme of this team is heart and hustle, here's a great example of Travis Snyder trying to get on base with that ground ball to the first baseman. Well, he made it close at first. Cahill just beat him by half a stride.
Cahill's a big guy, and he got over there pretty easily. He, last year, good fielder, led AL pitchers with 54 assists. You can see right there, just ahead of the hands of Snyder.
Well, he barely got the front edge of that plate, that base at first. See him kind of reach for that bag and just barely got his foot on the front edge. J.P. Arancibia had a double one hop the left field wall his last time up.
I'm going to stay away from him now in a one-run game late.
As we mentioned earlier, he didn't have to pull it to hit it out. One home run to center, one home run to right. Got a good breaking ball to hit, but pulls it on the ground to short. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Oakland has tightened up the defense in support of Cahill here this afternoon, and the infield's had a lot of opportunities.
You were talking about it a couple of innings ago. Not a lot of balls in the air by the Blue Jays this afternoon.
Ten ground ball outs, certainly a lot of opportunities for the infield defense behind Cahill, and they've come through. John McDonald trying to keep things alive here in the 8th inning. He struck out twice this afternoon. McDonald starting in place of Junel Escobar. Escobar was in a collision, some headfirst slides at third yesterday. Was being checked out by the doctors early this morning. He has a mild concussion. He's listed as day to day. He is still active, not been placed on the disabled list. In the press release, they suggested that Escobar was expected to play next week. So it doesn't sound as though they expect him to participate in the Angels series over the weekend. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. John McDonald lays off the breaking ball.
Well, you can see why Cahill was so tough on right-handers last year. Righties hit just 198 against him, the lowest in the American League. Good hard breaking ball. You start looking out there and he'll buzz that fastball by you.
Good size for a pitcher as well. 6'4", 226. Takes a lot of stamina to be a starting pitcher in the big leagues, and he's got a good pitcher body. And that ball really came in on the hands of John McDonald. Full count. Bounce toward third. Kuzmanov rights himself. On the money to first. A 1-2-3 8th inning. Trevor Cahill still strong. He's got the ground ball working. He leads the Blue Jays 2-1 as we head to the ninth. gone south for the Red Sox, and they go home to open up against the New York Yankees. It'll be Phil Hughes for the Yankees against John Lackey in the home opener, with the home team down 0-6 to start the season. David Percy comes on here in the ninth. Sean Kemp retired the only batter he faced to end the eighth.
Percy was as good as we have seen him his last time out a couple of nights ago. Really used his fastball to pound it into that strike zone. An inning, a couple of punch outs.
Becky Matsui walked in his first at bat, 0 for 2 since. There's a strike at the knees. Trevor Cahill, 3 hits through 8 innings. That's a 1-0 lead. Well, he looks 23, doesn't he?
Younger than that.
Very talented young right-hander, and he has become one of the better pitchers in all of baseball. It's a young pitching staff, a very talented pitching staff. Blue Jays have an average age younger than Oakland, but Oakland has a little more experience on them. Cahill 28 and 21 for his young career. 18-game winner a year ago. And Matsui fighting off that Percy fastball. This is where Percy would really love to have that Mark Zebchinski kind of breaking ball.
The go-to pitch. Something like that when you are left on left on a good hitter. He certainly has plenty of fastball.
And it's an explosive fastball. Bounced up the middle. That'll be a base hit. Matsui leads off the ninth with a single to center.
Hideki Matsui keeps his hitting streak alive against the Blue Jays.
And now he'll give way to the pinch runner. Ryan Sweeney comes off the bench. One-run ball game. Oakland trying to pad their lead here in the ninth. Matsui, 1 hit in 3 trips this afternoon. Kurt Suzuki, the catcher, pulls back from an inside fastball. Suzuki's a good hit and run man. He can handle the bat. Late on a fastball. And that's that fastball you were talking about that Percy has. It's got late life. I believe it's tough for hitters to pick up the baseball out of the delivery of David Percy.
That delivery, he's got almost a 2-part delivery. He drops his hand and then gets it back up, and I think he hides the ball well. He would be a tough guy to hit and run on, David Percy. Doesn't throw a ton of strikes. You don't know where the ball's going to be at some point. But then when he does, you could swing and miss it, and your runner's going to be in trouble. So you'll probably see Suzuki go ahead and hit away.
That's a good point. When you are contemplating a hit and run, not only do you think about your weapons, the runner at first and the hitter, but you also have to factor in just how consistent the pitcher is at throwing the ball in the strike zone. Cut on and missed. Percy picks up the strikeout. Boy, there's that explosive fastball. Just blew it right by Suzuki.
Big league arm from Percy. Just reach back, keep it away. This is what the batters see from Percy. Really hides the ball. Where is it? Where you don't see it. And then all of a sudden it comes out of his shoulder about 93, 94 miles an hour.
David Percy faces 2 batters, gives up a single and strikes out a hitter, and he'll turn things over to Casey Jansen, trying to keep it a 1-run game. brought to you by Rogers. Hello, Speed Boost. Goodbye waiting. Another first only from Rogers.
The Blue Jays had already broken a 0-0 tie with a run, and they were bidding for more, but Connor Jackson at right field robs Adam Lim of a base hit that would have scored another run. He also has the hit that has broken the tie at 1-1 in the 8th inning. So Connor Jackson having a good afternoon.
Casey Janssen, the 4th reliever out of the Blue Jays bullpen. Mark Ellis swings at the first pitch and drives it into left field. Travis Snyder comes over, cuts it off. Sweeney trying to go to third. Snyder on the money, out at third base. We have talked about all the hard work Travis Snyder put in spring training to improve his throwing, and we have seen the benefits of that good work.
Boy, we certainly have. When he was younger, it was just turn the lower half and throw, and the ball would go all over the place. Now he's working through the ball. He's using his legs, and watch how he sets himself up after going to catch the ball. Gets behind it, it's accurate, it's strong, and he nails the runner at third base. And it happened so quickly that Mark Ellis, the guy who got the base hit, is over at first base. He can't move into scoring position because of Snyder's play in left field.
Snyder threw out Danny Valencia at the plate on Sunday afternoon. Strong throw as Valencia was trying to score from second base. 2 down now. Cliff Pennington batting right-handed against Casey Janssen.
Little plays like that in the field to possibly save runs could mean the difference of a game.
1-run game. Top of the order scheduled to bat for the Blue Jays at the bottom of the 9th. Rajai Davis, Jason Nix, Adam Lynn, the first 3 hitters for the Blue Jays. Good throw. Keeps it a 1-run game for the time being. Snyder's 2nd assist of the season.
He had 3 all of last year.
Mark Ellis came in defensively, taking over for Andy LaRoche's 2nd. Came in the 8th inning and had that base hit to left field.
What a way to keep your hitting streak alive. You got 1 shot.
Ball and a strike. Pennington asked for time. Casey Janssen making his 3rd appearance of the season. He's throwing the ball well. A lot of competition all throughout spring training. And the Blue Jays have 2 relievers getting close to being activated. It's a tough situation.
Yeah, some tough calls in the next week or so if all goes well with the guys who are hurt.
It's not an easy situation, but that's what happens when you start to improve the depth of your organization. And this bullpen has been very effective through the first 6 games of the season. Popped up in foul ground. Lynn in foul territory makes the catch. Casey Janssen comes out of the bullpen and closes out the 9th. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. It'll be the top of the order. Rajai Davis, Jason Nix, Adam Lynn. Blue Jays down by a run. Anaheim as the Blue Jays begin a 11-day, 10-game road trip. They'll open up the home season for the Angels tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time. The Jays are on Sportsnet. It'll be right-hander Kyle Drabek going for the Blue Jays up against Irvin Santana for the Angels, the first of three.
Brian Fuentes takes over now for the Oakland Athletics. He was signed as a free agent back in January. Started the year with the Angels, the 2010 season with the Angels, got traded to Minnesota as a setup man, but now comes over here and it will be the closer with Andrew Bailey on the disabled list. He has 187 career saves.
Big save season in 2009 with the Angels, had 48 saves. That was a career high. Traded August 27th last year to Minnesota. Rajay Davis would love to get on base to start the night. Shows bunt, takes a strike. Davis, Nix, and Lind, the scheduled batters here in the ninth. Blue Jays down by a run.
Fuentes isn't one of those classic closers that reaches back and throws the ball by you. Got a funky delivery, hides the ball well.
Off-speed pitch, Davis cuts on and misses. Fuentes has been bothered by a blister. He was unavailable for the first game of this series, but he was ready to go last night and obviously fine to go here this afternoon. He's ahead of Davis, 0-2. Inside corner with a fastball. Fuentes strikes out Davis to start the ninth.
That strikeout was set up by the off-speed pitch, the one before. It's just 87 miles an hour, but it's in a good spot. Very savvy pitcher is Fuentes.
35-year-old Brian Fuentes strikes out Davis to start the ninth. Jason Nix had an RBI. The only Blue Jays run was driven in by Nix in the sixth.
I wonder if Trevor Cahill is feeling very comfortable on the bench. You know, the Oakland bullpen has never blown a save for him in 63 starts. How about number one right here?
Two 2-0. Blue Jays need a base runner. Fuentes falls behind Jason Nix. Adam Lind is on deck. Driven to right field. Connor Jackson has a beat on it. Takes it in front of the warning track. 2 outs. So the Blue Jays are down to their final out. It'll be lefty against lefty as Adam Lind strides to the plate. We had mentioned how effectively Lind has started his season against left-handed pitching. He had 2 doubles in last night's game, both against Dallas Braden, the left-hander.
He'll have to really stay on these pitches now from Fuentes. He comes from sidearm, trying to get you to open up just a little bit.
Trying to go down and away. Fouls it back. Suzuki wants to talk things over with Fuentes. Sometimes catchers can see where that hitter is striding and pick up on a game plan. And Suzuki went out with a quick message to Brian Fuentes.
Maybe where he's trying to look for the ball. So good about hitting the ball the other way.
Off-speed pitch into dirt. Adam Lind, so far this season, is 4 for 11 against left-handed pitching. Doesn't sound like much, but last year he had 16 hits all season long against lefties. Drills this into left field. That'll get down. He keeps the game alive. 5 for 12 against lefties to start the season.
Comfortable. The bat looks so much quicker this year. Standing straight up. He will be lifted for a pinch hitter. You can see a very short stroke and into left field. Outfielders playing very deep, and they don't want anything over their heads. So he will be lifted for the pinch runner.
Mike McCoy comes off the bench. McCoy has seen action early in the season, got a couple of starts in center field. Fuentes with a very deliberate move. He didn't have much of a move as a left-hander. 1 for 3 for Aaron Hill. He is 2 for 3 against Fuentes in their head-to-head matchups. Swings at the first pitch and pops it up to right. Connor Jackson drifting, and the A's have won it. Brian Fuentes comes out of the bullpen. He picks up the save, his first of the season. Trevor Cahill, the winner. Cahill with 8 strong innings. He held the Blue Jays just 1 run on 3 hits. Bob Guerin's Athletics will leave town now after salvaging the final game of the 3-game series.
It was everything we thought it would be, with the number ones going against each other. Very impressed with Trevor Cahill, the way he can command the strike zone, and Ricky Romero pitched a whale of a game himself.
Connor Jackson with a big hit that got the Athletics ahead. Now it's time for the Connected Post-Game Report with Jamie and Greg, live from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio at Rogers Center.